So every once in a while, a game comes out that blows my mind, completely exceeds my expectations, and just overall destroys my thought process throughout this whole entire game. Now, this game is made by Atlas. Now, you've probably heard of Atlas because they make the Persona franchise, Shin Megami franchise, and Catherine. They make those games, so if you've heard of those games, you've heard of Atlas. And this game may be the best story narrative game I've played. It's really that good. And that game is 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. Now, with 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim, do not look up any spoilers. Go play this game, go in it blind. Well, I can't say blind anymore. Go in it without any spoilers. Just go into it completely unabated by any spoilers. Figure out your own narrative, because the plot twist will be spoiled for you. Because this game, it's plot twists. Whew, they come out of nowhere. They really do. You hardly see any of this coming. Some of it you do, but the ones you don't really knock you back in your chair. 'Cause this game has the best story I've ever been playing. This game was nominated for Best Narrative at the VGAs. Should have won it. It should have won it. But the only reason why it didn't win because people haven't played it. You know what beat it? Last of Us Part 2. That game's story was absolutely terrible. It was really bad. It was worse than The Last of Us. Because The Last of Us, the original one, had a better story. This game did not have a better story. You know why? Because it lost one of its head writers. Because Neil Druckmann wanted to be head of everything. But let's not get into that, because that's another video. But right now, we're talking about 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. Probably the game of the year. It should be. Or it could be up there with Persona 5 Royal. Who knows? But this game is amazing. The story, the art style in the story is set like a 2D side-scroller talk. So you're talking to characters, you're piecing puzzles, no, not puzzles, like words, and you're joining up to the events that are happening throughout your characters. And there are 13 characters throughout this whole entire game. 13 characters you get to play as, get to grow, get to know, and get to experience some of these stories with them. And you become attached to some of these characters. You really do. You feel some of their nuances. It's a really fun and interesting style of game. And I loved it. I didn't think I would. But as soon as I sat down and played it, I was hooked. I couldn't put the controller down. Sometimes I did have to put the controller down and just gather my thoughts, like thinking, what the fuck was that? What the fuck just happened? Because I did not know what was happening on the screen. It was throwing you for a loop because the events that happen in the story are all over the place. They're all over the place. But what it does good is that it has an analysis part in the game where you can join all the events up and make it to one cohesive story. Now if you go onto YouTube, there's a full story playthrough of this game that's in chronological order and makes a cohesive story. It's about 23 hours long. So, and apparently, it makes the story make sense. And if you're getting lost, just keep playing, just keep pushing through, because it will make sense. Now, there is another gameplay element in this, and it's the RTS gameplay. And it's a real fun RTS that keeps you on your feet, keeps you thinking. Because when you're moving, the enemies are moving. And you've got 6 maximum pilots to use. And you've got to rotate them through because throughout the game they have this brain overload where they have to sit out. So if you use them for like 2 or 3 like missions, they've got to miss that mission out. The next mission out because they've got to rest. So you got to pick your teams. Pick who's good for certain areas. Pick for who's good for certain enemies. You got your flies, you got your heavies, you've got your long range, and you got your jack of all trades. but it really keeps you thinking, because this game wants you to use every resource you have at your hands, at your fingertips. So it's best to pick your team to the strengths that you're facing, and hopefully it makes it a lot easier. Because further into the RTS, it gets kind of overwhelming, so you've got to upgrade your Sentinels, upgrade your terminal, get some EMPs, get all that. Because this game is forcing you to think on the fly. Because you make one wrong move, it could really set you back and cause some damage to the terminal you are defending. Now, there's not really much I can say about the story. All I can say is that the RTS is happening completely all after the original story. So all that side scroller, that's happening way before the RTS part of the game. But you have to play the RTS and the actual story at the same time to unlock more parts of the story. There's not much I can say without saying spoilers, because this game is literally littered with them. It is full of them. But this game is simply amazing. The art style was really, really good. Like, it is top notch. The backgrounds look great, the character designs look amazing, and the voice acting is really good. Like, really good. It really gets you feeling that emotion some of the characters are going through. Because you need to feel it, because shit happens in this game. Shit happens. And it's a wild ride. It's a wild ride. You gotta think. You gotta try and piece everything together. But as more you push through the story, the more it makes sense. Trust me, I didn't think I would get the story when I was playing it. Halfway through, I was like, okay, I still don't know what's going on. I'll just keep pushing through. The more you push through, the more it makes sense. That's what I'm going to say. But it's a really great story. You should play it, go out and get it. You can probably get it cheap in the PSN store right now or at any game retailer. Because this game is simply game of the year. It really is that. And it's not easy to say that so many games that did come out this year in 2020, not 2021, which this video is being made in. In 2020, we had Doom Eternal, Persona 5 Royal, which I will talk about, Final Fantasy 7 Remake, which that game is amazing. But a lot of other games that came out. Hades, I've started playing Hades, which I'm really enjoying. I'm actually really enjoying Hades. But 13 Sentinels was completely different. It wasn't on my radar when I first found out about it. When I found out about it was I watched Wooly Versus on YouTube, and he's got a whole entire series of playing this game. So if you're not sure about playing this game, go to Wooly Versus and watch his 13 Sentinels playthrough. It's really good. He's currently almost finished it. He's about in the last quarter of the actual main story. He still doesn't know what the fuck is going on. He's drawing all these illogical conclusions, which I didn't have at that part of the story. I didn't have, so everyone has their own conclusions to the story of what is actually going on. And that's great, because that means that it gives the player a chance to figure out what the story is on their own terms. Because you're not supposed to know what's happening yet. You're only supposed to find out what's happening towards the end, where it always starts to make some more sense. But he's still aiming that gun, and he's still trying to pinpoint in the bullseye. He's getting close. Some points he has nailed. Some points he's nailed. Other points he's completely missed the target and has gone off past it and don't know where the bullet is. He's completely missed. He's whiffed. But if you really want to find out, go to Wooly Versus and watch his 13 Sentinels playthrough. I really recommend it, because it's a fun watch. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope I encouraged you guys to go out and buy 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim, because it's a really good game. Go out and get it. You won't regret it. It's about 40 hours, 40, 50 hours. And trust me, it feels like it's shorter. You feel like you're there for an hour when you've really been playing for like 3-4 hours, because everything, it just comes in, goes out, and you're playing through another story. But thankfully there is an analysis part where you can get all your mystery files together and try and make your own story and see if it adds up towards the end. That's really good. That's a really good game mechanic, and I highly recommend getting 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope I encourage you guys out to go get this game. I highly recommend you guys go get Persona 5 Royal on PS4, because it's a really good game as well, and it's made by Atlas, and Atlas make some really good games. They just, sometimes they don't like money, because some of their games are actually money sitting on the table, and don't know why they bring them out on other platforms. But that's another video for another day, once again. But until next time, this is For the Cultured, and we'll catch you later.